Hello and welcome to another Gags Tandon show. This time we are through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. I'm joined by Jack. How you doing, Jack? After that live watch along, another win for you.
Yeah, made up, mate. We're into the semis, as we'll speak about tonight, mate. To make it's the Liverpool way certain sometimes, really. Made that a bit too more difficult than it needed to be. But the main thing is we're into the next round anyway, the semis, and are made up, especially with a lot of the young Liverpool players that we'll speak about tonight, mate. But another learning curve for them, and certainly another opportunity to win another trophy this season, certainly.
Yeah, it's always better when you do it with with the reserves or the
Yeah.
second string, isn't it, to get through? Obviously, I have my worries about the fixture congestion and stuff, but hey, it's another semi-final. That's what 3 out of 4 years
Yeah,
now.
not too bad. Yeah,
Semi-finals in this trophy. I think we like it. It's just now whether it was nice to see that he did actually rotate people this time,
yeah.
and that was always my biggest fear. Every time Slot's playing, we haven't seen him do any kind of major rotation, but tonight he did. Were you surprised at all that Trent and Gomez started?
In terms of minutes for Trent, mate, I think it was good as we speak about the other lads as well. But Jota coming into the game tonight, mate, I think there's certain players in this side. I think as we go into the January period as well in a couple of weeks where we need this rotation, mate. I think it will help us in certain elements of Liverpool's game. I think the steady rotation of quality coming in and out of the squad. But it was good to see Trent, mate. Probably was surprised, if I'm being honest, in terms of the magnitude of this game. Yes, it's a semi-final, but given that Trent's been out a couple of times already this season due to injury, but I think the main thing was just getting Trent minutes under his belt, and certainly Joe Gomez getting a good run of form in recent weeks, certainly in the absence of Ibu Kanate as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping the reason why he played Gomez is because Kanate is not too far away from training for first team training and therefore in on the weekend. But Damo, good evening, mate, and thanks for joining us again. Great to see the kids, get us through to the semis using the young dude. So yeah, totally agree with that. Yeah, what about the formation, dude? It was the interesting part of the first half was how we were playing. It was like a three. I don't even know what it was. It was a three at the back, but then there was some kind of Endo was dropping in and dropping out, and it was quite interesting. Do you think?
Yeah, it was. I think a lot of us when we seen the starting 11, I think I set it up on the watch along. I had it as Endo as centre half, but as you said there, man, there was a lot of rotation. Gomez at times going left back, Quansah. Just goes to show that we've got proper footballing players, mate, that can play anywhere across that back line in little pockets of space as well. As we'll speak about with the Trent's goal in terms of just pirouetting through the Southampton defence as well. But I think in terms of Morton dropping in there, Neone as well, getting the opportunity again tonight. But it's just good that we've got players that can play in numerous positions, and certainly not just speaking about this season, but in terms of the latter stages, hopefully going into the years to come under Arne Slot. If anyone coming in, as we know, it doesn't matter if you're a stonewall centre half, you need to be comfortable playing at the back, and certainly for Liverpool, and we certainly did see that with Endo as well. And it was good. It was interesting to say the least.
I thought Endo was the man of the match for me. I thought he played really well today. Showed a lot of fight. He was in the wars a bit. Very unlucky to concede the goal the way we did with him hitting the ball in his face. I mean, sometimes the refs stop for those type of things, but they didn't for him today, which is an interesting one. But yeah, let's talk about obviously that. Like I said, the formation was a bit fluid. Things are going. I didn't think Trey only had didn't get too much to show in this game. Unfortunately, it was a tough one. He was wide on the right sometimes. He was central sometimes. It was a bit of a difficult one for him to get involved. I really was looking forward to seeing him play, but I guess it just maybe the formation or something just didn't suit him. He wasn't involved enough, I thought.
Yeah, I think a game of this magnitude, mate, obviously only 17 years old, highly regarded in Liverpool's academy, as we know, signing him from obviously Leicester, I think it was as well. So, yeah, he's I think the more we see of this lad, as I said, I'm not the most avid watcher of the under-21s of football, but certainly in terms of the next couple of years. I think he will be one of the main figureheads within this Liverpool team if he just continue his development, mate. But yeah, I think he did struggle, if I'm being honest, but it wasn't just him. I think it was the conditions were absolutely horrendous, mate. I don't know. Like, fair play to the travelling cop going all that way to St. Mary's tonight. But
And loud as well.
Yeah, as always, it was an absolute blowing a gale. But yeah, as always, you can always hear the travelling cop wherever you go.
Damo saying it's great timing of the return of injured players. Tsimikas, Jota, Chiesa, as a busy period, Christmas period is about to kick in. I thought they were all pretty rusty. Chiesa, let's talk about Chiesa a little bit. He was pretty rusty. He had a few nice touches. The Megs down in his own half against the Saints player, and then the shot that should have almost went in and cleared off the line. He had some nice touches, but definitely very rusty at the moment.
Yeah, I think obviously it will take a couple of months, really. I'd say even months, as much as we'd like to make him come in, make that impact. I think the big chance you alluded to in that second half when he did come on, it was, I think he tried to be a bit unselfish, really, and try and play. And I think it was Elliott or one of the other Liverpool attacking players inside the penalty area. But it just goes to show, yes, a game of this magnitude, semi-final, but certainly if we want to progress into the final, potentially the latter stages of the FA Cup competition as well, I think this is going to be the cup, especially cup games, games of this magnitude. Chiesa coming in, showing his importance to this Liverpool side, mate. But as obviously Damo's mentioned, Kostas Tsimikas as well. We know the bit of difficult form that Robbo's gone through over the last couple of weeks. It's important that we do have so much quality, and we need Kostas to come into hit that full peak form, really going into the latter stages of the next couple of weeks as well. So important.
Yeah, it's just good to have Robbo get a rest for a week, and then have Kostas just play these minutes the time he got today, and then also maybe play the week after. If Robbo comes back in and against Spurs, he can play at least Kostas can rotate with him now, and they can kind of strike that up together, which would be nice. I don't know whether I want to share the next comment because I don't think it's very nice, but we can talk about it from Kim C here. Quansah, Nioni, Morton, and Nunez are truly not good enough. It's a bit unfair to talk about Quansah, Nioni, and Morton like that. I mean, Nunez, there's been loads of debate on what's going on with him, but hey, he scored today.
Yeah.
So, he didn't have the best game, but I don't think there was much creativity going on for Nunez today anyway. And, I don't think there was enough on the pitch there to help him out with anything. He tries his best again and he gets the goal, and that's got us through. So I don't think we should be too harsh on him. What would you say to a comment like that, really, on a day like this?
Yeah. Nice one, Kim, for you. Appreciate your comments as well. I disagree with you. Hello, can you hear me? Apologies there, Trust. Yeah. You wouldn't think my mum doesn't know that I do live streams. Apologies there, mate, if my mic went off. But yeah, appreciate your comment there, Kim. I'll massively disagree, mate. But I think, as obviously Gags has already alluded to, I think a game of this magnitude, there wasn't a lot of quality in terms of the final third for Liverpool, in terms of he was feeding on scraps, really. But the one big key opportunity that did arise for Darwin Nunez tonight, he took it upon himself, slot it into the bottom corner, because yes, he's still got a lot of work to do. And I think that's one thing that me and you have already spoke about this season, Gags, when we've done our shows in the post-match. I think we already spoke this season in terms of we want Darwin Nunez in those crunch areas when he's 1v1. Sometimes when he gets too much time on the ball, that's where I feel he does struggle. But again, tonight, he was in that area. He was on the last line of the defence, certainly where Darwin Nunez does thrive, on the back end of a defence in terms of timing that run to an absolute perfection and certainly getting that opportunity to get in. But the most important thing was he was in that opportunity, and certainly in the next couple of weeks.
Calm as well, Jack. I thought, normally he'd rush a chance like that and blaze it over or put it wide or something. Instead, took the touch and just waited for the keeper slipped, which probably helped him a bit, and panicked the keeper himself. But then he just tucked it in, and that's all you can ask for, really. Sometimes it's a big chance, and he's converted it, because that's been his big problem, not converting the big chances. So when he actually converts one, we should be praising him, not skinning him, because then he can't win. He literally can't win then. Otherwise, he can never if you can't support him when he actually puts one in the back of the net, then I don't know what we're doing here sometimes. But yeah, his game wasn't the best, but I don't think without the Salahs on the pitch and, people like that around him, who he plays better with, I think it's hard to be judging them. But okay, so this is the interesting one for Kim. Sorry, not Nunez. This one. Thanks for reading my comment, but Quansah almost costs us every match. So let's talk about Jarrell. Again, a very difficult game to kind of judge a player on. I do agree that Quansah's not been in his best form this season. I think he's been in and out and not been trusted as well by the manager. That'll affect a young lad. He's had all that controversy stuff going on Twitter and social media about him. That's not going to help his head. And then this was a tough game to play in terms of condition-wise, a new formation. It wasn't. I don't think it's the easiest game to play. I'm not trying to make excuses for him. I really do not. I do agree that he's not been good enough, and he has been costing us. I just think maybe we're being a bit harsh to judge him the one.
Yeah, I think the standard and levels at the minute Liverpool are playing at, mate. I think for every fan, when we critique the players, it's important that we all do, and we all do it. Quansah, he's probably been one of the weaker points to Liverpool's defence this season. I think we can certainly agree on that, but I think that just goes to show the certain levels in which Liverpool have been playing at for many of the, especially under the years under Jurgen Klopp as well, and Arne Slot coming in now. And Arne Slot has been quite blunt. I think we remember Arne's first game where he just dragged Quansah off in the first opening 45 minutes, said in the post-match wasn't winning enough aerial duels, and then he was taken out of the limelight, and then he's been given his opportunity again in recent weeks. But I think the most important thing for Liverpool as a collective, as fans as well, is we've got players of the ilk of Jarrell Quansah. He's still only 21 years old. He will make mistakes, but we're not gonna overreact to any of us really in regards to his overall performance. He's still got a lot of quality to show, and he can certainly improve. Tonight it was another game like one of them, another opportunity for him to learn. And thankfully for Liverpool, I can understand where Southampton's fans might be a bit aggrieved. Many of the referee might have given a free kick, but it wasn't to be. And at the end of the day, it's not our fault if the referee he's there to make decisions. And thankfully for Liverpool, we got the rub of the green on that one as well, mate.
No, we didn't get the rub of the green on Saturday, did we? With any of the decisions. So at the end of the day, I think, I'd rather it even itself on a Premier League game rather than this one. Well, Kim, P.S. Love you guys. You're very nice. Yes, thank you, Kim. We love you too for commenting. That's very kind of you. But yeah, anybody else watching, there's around 686 in total over Twitter and YouTube. If you can like and subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. We'd really appreciate it. And if you're watching over on Twitter, why don't you come over on YouTube and make comments and join us here and get on the chat? We really do share pretty much every single comment that comes on. So yeah, your chance to get on here. Maybe put your picture on YouTube and you'll get your picture on the video as well. So come and join us. Yeah, then obviously after Nunez, Harvey Elliott gets on the score sheet with his swinger leg and his right foot as well, which wasn't too bad. I think there was a deflection, but it was on target. So yeah, we'll take that. How do you think Elliott did it? It's again another player who really is desperate for the minutes right now.
Yeah, certainly desperate, mate. I think coming into this season in pre-season, he was one of Liverpool's star players. Obviously, again, recent years he's been plagued with big injuries, as we know. But I think in terms of Harvey Elliott, he's our little diamond, as we know. In terms of Liverpool, he bleeds red. He bleeds red in terms of he loves this football club in every facet of it. He's a Scouser at heart as well in terms of loving this football club. And I think the way in which he took the goal tonight, mate, especially coming into those central pockets of space, that I think a lot of the talk, as we've already mentioned, Mohamed Salah wasn't playing tonight, neither was Ryan Gravenberch. Many of the Liverpool players have been rested coming into this game. And especially Salah, he's been the man for like nearly over 70% of Liverpool's goals this season. It could have been a different narrative off the back of tonight's game where Liverpool, no Salah, and we didn't get the win, but certainly Elliott coming and certainly yet again showing, highlighting and showcasing his talents, especially getting into that ball. But I did like, you mentioned Endo for your man of the match, mate. I think he played a pivotal role in that second goal in terms of winning that ball back. Little give and go with Cody Gakpo, who then obviously plays that through ball to Harvey in terms of, and Harvey Elliott in and around the penalty area. He's so clinical and he's so dangerous, whether that be on his left, whether that be on his right as well. He's just got that central bit of gravity, really. He's so good with the ball at his feet to just put that ball into the bottom left corner. And yeah, did get a bit of luck, but sometimes in football you do create your own luck anyway, and we will take that all day.
You do create your own luck, and it was nice to go 2-up, and that was kind of very calm then. That whole first half was pretty dominant. We didn't have to create too many chances. 2 shots, 2 goals. It was looking pretty easy. Endo, by the way, whilst we talk about him, I thought it was something Simon Brundish actually put on Twitter. I can't really share his tweet here, but he was just saying that if there's one positive out of the game, it's that Slot might start trusting Endo after that. Might have just earned a little bit of Slot's trust, who, by the way, he hasn't had any of it in any Premier League game, or just only in the last 5 minutes to shut up shop, really. But I really did think he was very professional today. For a short guy like myself, he is incredible in the air. You know, absolutely just has a leap on him. Seems to have a knack of winning headers, and he just wins loads of free kicks. Really, really smart player, knows how to put his body in the way, and just takes one for the team. And he was in the wars today. He got, I think, a smack in the face. Maybe it was by his own player, actually, that one. But he was just in the wars, and he played really well. I was glad to see him get a good game under his belt. He was unlucky, like I said before, he was unlucky with them scoring, with it coming off his face and going into their path. But you couldn't blame him for any of that. It's just a ricochet, really. But apart from that, I thought he was solid, and playing at centre back. Sometimes he outshone Quansah.
Yeah,
playing at centre back, he just slipping in there when he could. He outshone the actual centre back at times. So we got to praise him for that. You know, that's a bit of a shift. I really do hope he gains a bit of trust from the manager with it. It would be positive for us to have another rotation option in midfield for games against the dross, as Simon Brundish calls it, the dross in the league. You know, he's definitely good enough to play against them.
Yeah. No, like he come in, mate, and really poor. Especially he was the captain at the end of the game as well, seeing out the game. You know what we're gonna get, and whatever does happen in the next 12 months with Wataru, in terms of, but certainly what you want. This Liverpool team in recent years has been built on big characters. And since he's come in, he's not put a foot wrong in terms of coming in, doing a job. And when he's called upon, certainly does 9 times out of 10 he delivers. You need those type of characters. And certainly, as we alluded to tonight, mate, I think he won quite a large percentage of his aerial duels, his ground duels as well. And playing centre half, not typically his main position, but he can play there. But he didn't whinge one bit, and certainly put in a stellar performance tonight.
Exactly, and like Damon said, his gum shield was worth every penny saved him there. But he's the consummate professional, as you'd say. You know, just comes to work, does it, but doesn't moan, takes a chance here tonight. Hopefully plays in the semi-final as well. I want the likes of, Elliott's and Nunez's and Endo's playing in that semi-final. You know, I want them to get game time. Quansah as well. Kelleher, it was a bit of a shame that Jaros didn't start in goal. And get a bit of a chance. But do you get what I mean? I want that semi-final to be for these players to get those minutes. I want Chiesa to get more time. I want this Chiesa to play both semis. You know, I really do want him to get those times on the pitch. That time
get a good run.
Yeah, it just means he gets game time, and the only way Chiesa is going to get better or used to the pace of the game for us is by playing minutes.
Yeah,
and it was nice to see he came on the pitch, and obviously not the best. A lot of people complaining about him, but again, I just think it's really unfair. Like, come on, not had many minutes, comes into a horrible ground, like it's wet and windy and terrible, and you're playing and you're just getting pushed over. They're going to fight for everything, Southampton, when they get a goal back, and they're going to be pushing you over. Whatever. He got stepped on like 3 times. Not one person mentioned that his foot got stepped on 3 times since he came on. So
he was just a nuisance when he come on as well, wasn't he? And that's where you want to create that space as well, mate. But
he's got to be better. Like, don't get me wrong. Let's be honest. He's got to be better. But judging him off 30 minutes is the stupidest thing you could ever bloody do.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, just grow up a little bit. just grow up. Shouldn't swear. I get told off by Eddie, but yeah, grow up, man. You don't judge footballers on minutes. You judge them on games after games. We used to talk about this on Under Pressure a lot. And if you haven't listened to Under Pressure for the years that I was on it, we used to say they need 10, 15 games is the amount of minutes when you can really judge a player's form. You know, that's when you can say they've had a bit of a season and a bit of form going and how they're doing. So when we try and judge someone like Nunez and stuff, it's because he's played a lot of minutes for us and he does get the time on the pitch. That's why you can actually have an objective opinion about a player of how many chances he's getting, how much he's missing, is he putting the effort in, whatever. But just someone playing less than 100 minutes for a team and you're going to make
it's extremely difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, he's off next year. He's going back to Italy. Things like it's very disrespectful and very, very.
He wants to
football. I don't know.
Yeah, he wants to be there, mate, doesn't he? I think considering how smiley he was, how the way in which he embedded into the Liverpool culture, mate, that doesn't smack to me that he's a player. I know a lot of talk in the window as well, but I think that a game of this magnitude, as he alludes to there, mate, I think it's extremely difficult coming from Serie A, one of the weaker physical leagues, to say the least.
Slower. Let's say slower.
Yeah, it's a lot slower. Yeah. Obviously, with the Bundesliga, a lot more physical, very similar to the Premier League, but certainly from a technical point of view, and given his injuries over the last couple of seasons as well. But even still, the last season for Juve, he played quite a lot of minutes. But for any player coming into the Premier League, and especially like a windy night down the south coast, so it's certainly a great introduction for Chiesa. But as you said, mate, 30 minutes, it's only a small sample size to what will hopefully be a very long season for
he needs more
Chiesa.
games playing at Anfield as well, where the crowd's right behind him and he's not, that's where you're probably going to see Chiesa grow more and more, just getting that crowd behind him, that excitement when he gets on the ball, that drives the player as well, it just gives him that extra buzz. And he did have a couple of good touches, should have scored. Unlucky, came off the line, and people would be totally different if a couple of those shots that he had, one was going wide and the other one that was going in. If there was one of those had gone in, it'd be a different conversation today. Everybody'd be like, what a player, we got a gem, It's just tiring. I get really tired by some of the nonsense I see online, got to get better for sure, but give him the time. So Damo asked another one here. I wonder if the Southampton caretaker manager Rusk regretted not playing the big tall striker Onuachu. Remember, we had this and we were both on together when it was the first one, wasn't it? Onuachu, the big tall striker from the start. I thought he troubled us when he came on. Onuachu, I did. He was trouble.
He's an absolute handful. Just Damo, it'll be interesting with the new manager, whoever that new manager is. You never know with obviously the changing of the baton. Obviously, Simon Rusk, the under-21 manager, coming into this game as well for them. I think he would have liked to have made an impact tonight. I tell you, whatever does happen in terms of his career, in terms of management, I think thankfully he hasn't got the Liverpool scalp on his resume already tonight, but certainly put in a performance that was all right, but I was expecting a bit more from Southampton in that second half, mate. But thankfully, we just got it over the line, and Onuachu as well. It'll be interesting to see in the next 12 months. If you want to stay in the Premier League, you need to start banging in the goals, and a lot of those other, obviously, Southampton attackers certainly need to do so.
He's just really good as a hold-up player, isn't he? That's one thing. And maybe a target striker, but I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him. In front of goal, he missed a chance, but again, it's very too small amount of time to judge someone. But what he does have is good close control, right? We were talking about Endo just there. The great performance tonight, most tackles won, most duels won, most foul player on the pitch, 94. All the things we talked about, the numbers are right there to prove it as well. So I wanted to touch on something here that Daniel's brought up. Thanks for the comment, Daniel. Professional performance, good games from Endo, Elliott, Quansah, Morton. So I want you to talk about Morton because you actually chose him as your man of the match. So before we go to some stats on Gakpo, let's talk about Morton. What did you really like What did you like about his performance today?
Very technical, gifted footballer, mate. I think obviously his time in the Championship, I think in the percentiles coming into European football this season, he was linked with other big teams in European football, mate. But I liked his technical composure, especially game of this tonight, especially to go out wide, right back, then going into that inverted / right back Trent role as well, mate. But I think we've seen the best of what Tyler Morton can do. Or there's certainly levels to his game. But if needs be, I think whatever does happen in the next 12 months in regards to Liverpool's defensive midfield position. But Tyler Morton, I think, for a lot of clubs out there, I think he was linked with Bayer Leverkusen. Other teams were linked with him over the last 12 months. But certainly in terms of the percentile, in terms of his age profile as well, and his technical footballing qualities, he really shines upon a lot of people at his age category as well. But yeah, the composure tonight, mate. I think it was a difficult game. It wasn't a game where Liverpool tonight really. Of course, we dominated spells in the first opening 45, but when it did get difficult in the second half, and it certainly did, I think Tyler Morton really grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and showed that maturity of his game that certainly we haven't seen a lot of him. He's not really been given a lot of opportunities at Liverpool, but when he's at his time at Hull, at his time at Blackburn as well last season, I think certainly he's a lad for the future. But possibly with Liverpool, you never know. But I think if he continues developing like he did tonight, I think he could be in for a right old big future ahead of himself.
Yeah, so just to counter that a little bit, I thought on the goal, but he's not a right back, so it's not his fault. Yeah. But on the goal, him and Quansah were a bit slow in blocking to cut the shot off. They should have forced him down the other side. Really, with two of them there, they shouldn't have let him do that. But again, both very young, very inexperienced, and also not really Morton's place to play. He's better in the middle, and he is a talent. Yeah, that's an interesting choice from your side. Neone, I know we said we weren't too impressed with him, but some stats there. Nice moments from Neone. He made the joint most recoveries for LFC. Also made 7 passes into final third most, completing 93 of his passes. Wow, he had 59 passes. That's not bad at all. But let's talk about the guy who got the assist that you talked about. Despite only playing 63 minutes, Cody Gakpo created the most chances for LFC tonight, 5. He now has 8 goals and assists, 8 goals or assists in his last 11 games for Liverpool. He's absolutely on fire. So, yeah. Your thoughts on Cody? I actually didn't think the numbers are saying one thing. I wasn't impressed today at all. The assist aside, obviously, I just was not enjoying it today from him. I just thought crosses were poor. I thought, it was just very slow from him today. But I don't know. He didn't have the players around him that he usually does.
Yeah, I think obviously he loves the cup competitions, as we know already, mate. But the statistics speak for themselves in regards to the impact in which he has in games, mate. I think he drifts in and out of games in certain moments, but when he does make that impact, he certainly got a lot of quality to show, really. But a game away from home, you're looking to players of obviously Gakpo as well, Trent on the pitch as well in the first half. But I think Gakpo, record speak for himself. Long may it continue, mate. I think if there's one aspect of Gakpo's game, I think we'd like to see a bit more consistency in front of goal. Whether it's not Salah scoring, there will be points in the season, mate, Gags and Reds, where Salah might go through a dry spot in terms of in front of goal as well. So it's up to the likes of Gakpo, Diaz, Nunez as well. And we need them when they're called upon.
We definitely can't complain about production from Gakpo. Absolutely not. Like, look at those numbers. You can't complain that he's not producing at least. And that's one of the things we talk about Diaz, who at the moment is going through one of those spells that you just talked about where he's not producing. I hope that changes this weekend against Spurs. And talking about Gakpo, Damo's back in here. He's got the happy knack of being in the right place at the right time, even when he's not playing particularly well or not overly involved. I think that's true. And I don't think you can argue with that one, Damo, at all. Liverpool have gone 20 games unbeaten within a single season in all competitions for the first time since March 1996. Oh, wow. I did not know that. Wow. I thought it would be, did we, maybe that year when we lost in the Champions League, didn't we? When we went that long game, maybe we got knocked out of the cups as well when we played that season where we had the 100, 4 out of 100,
103 out of 106 or
whatever the points were. I guess the cups we didn't give a shit, which was about right. Slot then, talking about Quansah, red card for Quansah, not nervous, but two players collided. You always wonder what it might be in real life. It could have been different choice, but saw it back and it wasn't a foul. You never know with referees' decisions. And then he finished with, we have to defend this trophy. The players won it and Jurgen won it. Wow. Well, fighting talk from Anna. And I guess, you know what the funny thing is, I was watching with my daughter, who started watching all the games with me now, which is lovely. But basically she was like, Where's Slot? I don't see his shiny head on the touchline today. I was like, he's banned, and she's like, oh shit! How did he get banned? I said he's been fighting with referees for most of the season, getting yellow cards. One yellow card, I think he got for no reason. One of them. So yeah, she was like, where's Slot? I can't see him. So even Slot's becoming the thing you can see at the end of on the touchline, the shiny bald head, you know, which is quite funny that she picked that out. So that was good. But yeah, I mean, everything else from this game, the second half was hard. It was tough watch, I thought. Apart from the Chiesa bits and pieces and some counters, we just, yeah, it was a rough one to watch with all the changes going on as well. Maybe that's one of the reasons as well. We changed a few players. It wasn't the back four in the second. If you think about it, Tsimikas, well, back 3/4, Endo, Quansah, Morton. Two midfielders playing in your back 4-3-4. It's not going to really go very well, is it? If you think about it. So again, we got through it, I guess, is the main point, right?
Yeah, it's all a learning curve, mate. And I think when we look at it and we analyse it back, obviously would have liked a bit more control. I think certainly off the back of that second half, we'll be wanting that bit more. But it's all about a learning curve, mate, and a lot of rotation. James McConnell coming on the 60th minute mark as well. Hasn't had a lot of football. Last year, he was one of Liverpool's unsung heroes in terms of the cup competitions as well. As you alluded to, Chiesa coming on for Trent, he went out. Joe Gomez went off as well for Kostas Tsimikas, both on the 46th minute. So a lot of rotation, especially when you do change the back line. It's always so difficult. But we weathered this storm and we got through it, mate. And it's just, seasons are all about small moments as well and taking the opportunities when they come across you. And Liverpool, again, wasn't our most amazing performance, but come what the end of May, wherever we do find ourselves, and we'll be speaking about games like tonight where we got over the little difficulties in the second half, certainly. But yeah, Jayden Danns as well. He only got 5-10 minutes, but yet again, it's just great to see Jayden Danns back into the Liverpool starting 11. And if we do go into the latter stages of the League Cup and certainly the FA Cup this season, I think he'll have a big say like he did last year.
I completely agree. I think we need to keep playing some of these guys in, like especially Accrington Stanley coming up as well in a month, less than a month's time. I think it's actually a few weeks away now, isn't it? 2-3 weeks away. Loads of chances for these guys to get games in there. So we should play them. Even some of those Champions League games in next year. You know, are you bothered about going 8 in a row, 8 wins, or would you? I mean, we're kind of through now, I think. Would you rather play and save some legs because we've got 9 games in January again, dude? That's a lot, you know. That's a lot of games.
I think the one thing Ghana is already, as we all know, found the Premier League to be as ferocious as it has been in terms of this steady rotation. Whatever happens in the January window, Liverpool do business. Hopefully we do. In terms of strengthening our point of view as well, mate. But yeah, I think he will rotate in the Champions League games, mate. So obviously PSV and obviously the other game we've got left in Leo as well. So, and obviously they'll be going all guns blazing for the last 8 spots as well. So it's not going to be easy. But I think in terms of Liverpool, if we can win or even get a draw, if we get a little bit of luck, but certainly those last 2 games can be, if it goes our way, we can see.
That's a really interesting point you made about the Champions League, that normally when you get to the latter stage of it, if it's just a 4-team group, it could be a dead rubber the last game because some of the teams are already out. They can't actually get through, right? Like the last one of the last 2 games, or sometimes it can be everything on the line and you're trying to get through. But in this format, all of so many teams can still qualify getting into the last stages because it's such a wide pool and so many places up for grabs and so little points between teams that it could change on a game by game basis. So you're right, like it could be no let up from a
which is
perspective
mad
of,
from our
yeah.
point of view. Like,
Yeah, because we might just want to have a rest game, but the opposition will
it's
end up
Leo are like, no, we
yeah.
can't have that, boys.
No, we can't have
Going
that.
forward.
But that's a really good point. I haven't even thought of it like that. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens for the rest of the league. I mean, it's be interesting to see what happens for all the other teams. Like the Arsenals and the Cities are going to have to go gung ho to qualify. In that. Well, I think Arsenal are all right, but maybe City will have to, and it's going to be a tough one for them.
Yeah.
But Damo just says that getting through the games with no injuries will become important as the season progresses. This is why the other point you made, Damo, about signing. The players coming back from injury was so important today because we really do need them to rotate now. We really do. Really could do with a couple of players getting them. Okay, and this is a good one. I would love a cheeky little Fabinho type signing that nobody saw coming. Even indicator. Yeah, less said about that, the better. I don't know about signings. I'm hoping we get a fullback and a midfielder. Whether Eddie thinks I'm just being really crazy thinking about that, because if we
positive
do,
though, isn't it, mate?
No, I think what his point is, if the rumors are true and we do re-sign the three boys, Trent, VVD, and Mo, that's a outlay of 60 million a year, and it could mean a player being given up on, because that's a very FSG thing to do, giving up on a signing when you've given that money to players. But I guess it's total 50 million. We should have been already paying, say,
Thiago's wages as
well.
Yeah.
Well, no, but we should have been paying 2/3 of that. It's only the bonus, but the raise that we should be counting as extra. So the raise can't be 50 million, surely. No. So you'd think it'd be 10, 15. So I don't see how the argument that we don't sign someone is valid. We do need to, and I think we should. And I think that fullback maybe that we're linked to from, is it Bournemouth? Is it?
Yeah, Kirkers.
Yeah. And then if Zubi is willing to give up home and come to Liverpool, I would take those two as two real good strengtheners to the squad for now, and then do some major surgery in the summer with some centre backs and another right backs or whatever you need. Well, maybe not a right back if Bradley comes back in. We got to look forward to Bradley and Konate coming back into the fold as well, Jack. Yeah. When they're back,
so many.
I'll be so much more confident.
Yeah, because there will be weeks and months, mate, and for all of us where we're scratching our head going, how are these old lads going to get a game? And that's the whole point of having even Liverpool in the great 70s and 80s, and even and Klopp as well, when we had squad depth, certainly. It just allows rotation, mate, and I get all of us as fans, mate, and I get your excitement going to January. For all of us, it should be, because you can never have enough good football players. If Liverpool do go out in the window and bring in one or two, we want, and hopefully Arne Slot wouldn't have come into the football club. He would have been under some instruction from his pitch to Liverpool and need players in the next phase, post the era of Van Dijk and everything about that as well. But yeah, it's get the players in FSG, and certainly just gives every Liverpool fan.
Here's the negative one out of our bunch. Always, Liverpool have reason to keep it frugal. Slot has ticked so many FSG boxes so far. Powder dry, expect nothing in Jan. There you go. He hates. This is Scrooge, Our Scrooge, bar humbug, Eddie Gibbs. Jason Mystery, thank you so much for the compliment. Great show again, guys. How do you see Elliott's role in the team going forward? Feel like it's going to be tough to get new opportunities now, given Chiesa is back. Do you want to give a go at that one first before I do?
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, nice one for your comment, mate. In terms of his role, I think Elliott, one thing when I've analysed him over the years, mate, I think if it could give Elliott a bit more pace about his game, I think it would help him out massively. From a technical point of view, he's fully capable of playing that hole in behind the striker. But I think with Dominic Szoboszlai's role now, in terms of it's such an important role in that Liverpool midfield, the one in front of the likes of Gravenberch and McAllister. But it will be interesting, just how in terms of where he does play. The main thing for Harvey Elliott, staying fit. Obviously, can play out wide right, but I do feel in the central pocket of space, in the central of the pitch for Liverpool, I think that's where he does thrive and where they do potentially see him long term for Liverpool. I don't see him out as a wide right forward for Liverpool. I think those central pockets, mates, for Liverpool going forward, especially under Arne Slot, I think that's where he does see him long term. I don't know how you feel, Gags.
I do agree with you. I think it might be difficult for him to play in the wide spots if Chiesa's coming round. And I think it has to be in that 10 role, really. Has to be. I think that's where he's actually going to be really vital. He's got an engine on him. He'll work really hard. Doesn't have the pace. So, putting him wide doesn't make too much sense for me. I think the Gakpos and the Darwins and the Mo's and Chiesas would suit those roles much better for me. Jota and Elliott in the central sounds about right, where they can work hard. I think Elliott needs to be given a go in there, right behind the forward, if we want to see, because he's one of the things that people probably don't catch with him is he's quite creative and he's got a wand of a left foot. Yeah. Can put some really good crosses in if he gets into the right position. So when he veers across to the right or the left, he can be really dangerous from those areas. If we're playing football around, they can pick a pass, pick a cross, good and free kicks with crosses as well. So I think there's positives to him playing centrally like that, especially if we're playing a double pivot in the middle, so he can be doesn't have too much on his plate to do. But like I said, I don't think he's afraid of working hard. But yeah, if there's a chance where it's a team that's not like Arsenal's of the world, I wouldn't play him there. But I'd love to see him play against the lower league teams. I think he's very much good enough. He's good enough to do that.
I'd quickly on that one
as well. Yeah,
he's got big potential. I think in that Liverpool team, he's probably got the most potential in terms of in this Liverpool team.
I agree with this point. It's quick to see movement and good short passer. And I think when he's playing with like the Mo and things like that, you'll see a better performance from him because he links really well with them. Mr. Watch, Chiesa's superior experience compared with others was evident. I thought the same for Endo as well. Yeah. And Damo says Chiesa looked the best player on the pitch in flashes, even though he only looks half fit. He'll be some player if he can get fully fit. Honestly, I'm so excited if he can just stay fit. If he can just stay fit, he will be, he'll be fantastic for us. So it's just that fitness worry for him. It's it's a worry for all of us, really. If he can play those minutes, he doesn't need to play like twice a week either. He just needs to play. Just needs to give the players a game off. He needs to play 75 minutes a week, really, and just taking those minutes off of a first teamer, like a real proper first teamer, like a Mo or a Darwin or I don't know about Darwin, maybe a Jota or a Gakpo right now, or Diaz even. Taking those minutes away from their legs means we go longer in the season with them players. And that's been the big problem over the last, last two years, I'd say. Last year especially, we struggled right at the end because we didn't have enough people.
Would you say, Gags, as well, though, mate? And just if we can keep Chiesa fit and he provides that quality down the right, would you think that propel Salah's year? It add an extra year or two in terms of Salah's like length, longevity. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
I think having another player that's quick and can do something down the right really helps Mo. Yeah. I think he knows it's not all. We don't have to completely play him in every single crazy game. We don't have to play him if there's some Champions League games which aren't massive ones like the Lille's and that, and Chiesa can come in and just smash teams. Let's do it, and I think Chiesa would be happy as well that he's playing just Champions League football and on a night in Anfield and this and that and getting into the team. And you never know, he could find another role in the team as well, like behind the forwards, play maybe on the left, cutting in instead. It doesn't, if he can just get going and get the confidence, I think it's just getting game time. There's a couple more things. The song for OK saying Chiesa left a crafty elbow for the fullback who slammed him. Respect. Hey, Italian style, man. Love it. You love it. I love it when. Have you guys seen the Liverpool FC YouTube video where we're going through the FC, the old whatever FIFA's called now, when they go through the ratings, and McAllister comes in, Federico Chiesa. Have you not seen that? You got to watch that clip. If you haven't seen it, McAllister, so good. We haven't even talked McAllister today because he was just waltzing around the pitch today. He didn't have to do much in the first half. It was just a train. It felt like a training session in the first half. What else have we got here? We've got you never walk alone, Foodie. Really nice guy, very supportive of AnfieldIndex. So, are we going to win the cup again with the kids? Keep up the good work, guys. I've liked. Hopefully everybody else has. So, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And one more comment here from Kimfer. The key to winning the league and other trophies is keeping players fit and get them rhythm going. Slot is working to achieve just that. No new signing needing for me. Wow, great. Okay, fair enough. Respect your opinion, but yeah, I don't agree. I think we should strengthen if we're in a position of strength. If you strengthen on top, it actually puts fear in your opposition that Liverpool have got stronger rather than weaker. It really boosts the squad because they know they've got more help. If you go back and look at the summer or any other times, players asking, yeah, hopefully we get another few players in. Hopefully we get another few. The players want players. It's not like they don't. They want to hold on. This is a squad and a mentality of a squad where they want everyone to help out. They're not worried about their positions. They're very secure in their positions. But what they want is more help to win everything. Now, if Slot is going to go and win the Carabao, win the FA Cup, win everything, can't do that with the squad we've got. You can't. You need to add more players to it to go and win everything. So Damo just said, had a mental picture of Mo playing up front striker with Chiesa cutting from the right wing. There you go. That's another option. Absolutely. Love it. I would love if that is something that makes Mo, be here longer. The signs or the rumors are pointing to that he's going to stay. So fingers crossed that Mo signs and VVD signs and Trent signs as well. One more before we go. Daniel's back. Great to see Macca back as well. Tidy hour to keep. Yeah, absolutely. You didn't have to scream and shout about Macca today. It was simple enough. But yeah, if you're going to put a comment, I'm going to have to keep putting false 9 Mo. Would love it. But Jack, anything you think we've missed before we go here? We've done 47 minutes on a game that didn't really have too much to talk about.
We always
thanks to the comments, really.
Yeah, thank you for the chat as well. We could be I know you Gags as well. We could be here for another hour, mate, but obviously on a strict schedule as well as always. But yeah, I think we've more or less covered the boxes, mate. But I think in terms of my final summary, mate, it was a difficult, hard-earned win tonight, mate. It wasn't our most amazing performance, but certainly we have another 10 wins like this, and we will do in this season. There's going to be difficult wins along the way. But I think the main thing, as Chat already alluded to quite rightly so, is injuries permitted. We've come out of this game. We've rested the likes of Gravenberg. He's been given a rest, rightfully so. Salah's been given a rest. And yeah, long may it continue, mate. Bring on the semi-finals and hopefully...
Curtis, Dom, Mo, all the Grav, all of these guys, Virgil, Robbo, Diaz, all been rested and ready to go for Sunday. I mean, I'm just really, really desperate to get back to winning ways in, get back to winning ways in the Premier League. Really, really desperate after the 2 draws. And last one, Endo and the Giant. It was fun. Yeah, my man of the match was Endo. I think yours was Morton, or are you changing it?
Yeah, Morton, but I give it to Endo. Yeah,
there you go. We're going to give it to the Endo son because he deserves it. Good play, and let's hope Slot starts to trust him a little more, gives us another option in some games, especially with all the cup games coming. Let's hope he does it, and those Champion League one just gives Macca a rest, doesn't it? At the end of the day, if he plays,
he needs to.
And thank you, Damo. You're great, man. You're always on here supporting us. We really do appreciate it. And with that, we want to say thank you to all those that are watching. Nearly 1,000 of you total over Twitter and YouTube. That is great for us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. If you can come and come over to YouTube, look for us, Anfield Index TV. It's right up there. No, it's that way, up there in the corner there, Anfield Index TV. Search for us on YouTube. There you go. He's got the pointing right. And come and subscribe and join us on here when we're live. We'd really appreciate it. It's all free for you, giving our time and to do this for you guys and you guys only. So we'd love the support and we do see it. Thank you very much. And Nick again from Adelaide. Wow. Love the show, guys, watching from Adelaide. What time? It's in the morning there, I guess. Great. Thank you very much, Nick. Appreciate that. And yeah, Mr. Wah, we appreciate it too. With that, thank you very much. Jack, appreciate your time again. Whenever you're on, we seem to win. So I don't know.
Thank you very much for having me, mate, most importantly, and everyone. And enjoy it. And
if I don't find a guest, I might be coming your way for Sunday as well. Hopefully it means we win. So we might have to do it. But yeah, thank you very everybody for joining us. And make sure you go and listen to Post Match Raw, which will be out shortly afterwards on Anfield Index Pro. And if you're not a subscriber, AnfieldIndex.com/join. Listen to all the podcasts that we do. There are tons of podcasts behind that paywall. Just a $5, a cup of coffee a month. That's all it is. Really cheap. Come and support us. We'd love it. It helps us to do YouTube like this as well. So yeah, appreciate all your support. Thanks again, Jack. Up the